It is a Free Speech Friday, and you can watch the live stream on Twitter, and I encourage you to do that. In fact, follow me on Twitter. This thing's going to explode soon because of what Elon Musk is doing. We're going to talk about that in a moment with a guest. But first, I'm going to go to Mike. He's calling in from Madrid, Spain. Yeah, on Free Speech Friday. Should be Free for All Friday, Free Speech. Mike, how are you?
Hey, Steve. How you doing? Hey, I was just wanted to bring up the topic of September 18th, when President Trump will be sentenced, and no one's really thought about a plan on what would happen if he actually was put in custody that day. I hope they put him in jail.
I hope they put him in jail,
exactly.
Mike. When he got convicted, it was worth $400 million just for being convicted. Throw him in jail, it'll be worth $1 billion. You watch. Plus, I think it will guarantee and cement his victory in November. People will be so outraged by that. You want to talk about motivation? People that'll be enthusiastic to vote? Throw him in jail. Just throw him in jail for 5 days. You watch the money that comes.
I would agree, but I'd like to make one suggestion.
Go ahead.
In that, as a response, the people as a response, instead of any violence, rioting, and that type of thing, one thing that works here in Spain is what's called a general strike. And that's when all industries...
Everybody stands down. I like that idea.
Right.
Hey, thank you for calling in. Greatly appreciate it. From Madrid. Thank you for listening. Truly appreciate it. From Madrid, Spain. We had Poland earlier, just north of Warsaw, and now we got Madrid, Spain. Hey, we're doing all right. Now we got Carl Szabo, Vice President, General Counsel for NetChoice, and a professor of Internet Law at George Mason University Scalia Law School. Professor, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you. Glad to be back.
All right. So we saw, look, Brazil basically outlawed Twitter, right? Brazil, as Elon Musk is doing brilliant things, he's about to make it so that when we're live streaming here, like you and I are right now on Twitter, right? It'll be available on every television set in America, or to Madrid, Spain, or Poland, or all over the world. While that's happening, Brazil's trying to outlaw them and threaten them with all sorts of things, so they just shut it down there. But my concern is that free speech is under attack all over the Western world. I should be concerned, shouldn't I?
Absolutely. So you just had a caller from Spain. You said Poland. The world, the rest of the world, the rest of the freedom-loving world is truly envious of what we take for granted every single day. The First Amendment, which protects us from government censorship. Yeah. And as you point out, Brazil has shut down X because, well, they don't like the statements being made by the Brazilian Joe Rogan, a Brazilian senator, and Brazilian congressman. You have England, which is literally going into people's homes and monitoring for what they say on X or other social media platforms, because if they say anything that's mean, the British police will come to your door.
Yeah, that's right. The UK, you don't even have to say something that's mean. If you just retweet or repost something that they find that is something they don't like, that the thought police don't like, they'll be right at your door. I saw a guy tossed into jail for 18 months for reposting something they didn't like. I mean, I can't even believe it's happening.
Well, and what's even scarier is it's coming to America. So unfortunately, what happens in Europe doesn't stay in Europe. And we have the Biden-Harris administration that loves the idea of controlling speech, controlling the narrative. I mean, they ran a basement campaign 4 years ago. They're running a basement campaign right now. And the only thing that's holding them accountable are people like you and social media that they want to control. Let's remember that this is the administration that we just learned from Mark Zuckerberg the other day. We learned from Elon Musk with the Twitter files that they went through and pressured and censored social media on COVID discussions of the origin of COVID, of the Hunter Biden laptop. And then let's remember, this is the administration, the Biden-Harris administration, that created the Disinformation Governance Board only 2 years ago, which was headed by Scary Mary Poppins. So this is coming for America, and it's already here.
Here's what's really frightening. Tim Walz, you saw this. No absolute right to free speech. Now, when it comes to misinformation and hate speech, of course there's an absolute right. It's called the First Amendment, you idiots. But they don't want to deal with it. They don't want to hear what you have to say. Silence! Silence! That's what they want to yell at the peasants. I mean, good God. Of course, here it is. in this copy of the Constitution, and in this copy of the and in this copy, I've got them here. They don't change. It's an absolute right. And my friends at Hillsdale College have one for you, by the way. Learn the Constitution. It's remarkable. The vice president of Canada of the United States doesn't even know what the Constitution says or how it reads.
And that's the thing, is you know when President Trump speaks what he thinks. And the wonderful thing is that we have freedom of speech. So we can criticize him, we can challenge him, we can criticize our neighbors, we can say what we think. And this is something we truly take for granted here in the United States. My company, NetChoice, we actually won a U.S. Supreme Court case to guarantee the right of private businesses to allow you to speak freely without government-compelled speech. We just won a case in California, the Ninth Circuit, where California was trying to censor content online. And so this is happening here in the United States of America, and it's very, very scary. Americans need to recognize that we have the First Amendment. And to your point, the New York Times has run now 2 op-eds in the past couple of months, one entitled, "The First Amendment Has Gone Too Far," and "The Constitution is the greatest threat to politics."
Well,
so
no.
We are
the
seeing
Constitution
the attack.
is a threat to democracy, Carl.
Oh, democracy. Sorry, yes.
Yeah, it's a threat to democracy. And these headlines are being regurgitated everywhere. We got about 30 seconds. I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, basically, what I love is how the internet, social media, all these platforms, the ones you use, have truly given the voiceless a voice. And now politicians, governments can't hide. They can't escape. They can't control what we hear, say, or think. And that's a good thing, because at the end of the day, they work for us.
Of course they do. And hats off to Elon Musk. Thank God he spent $44 billion to give us the choice to say what we want. Professor Carl Szabo, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Greatly appreciated. Good stuff. Spirited stuff on this Free Speech Friday. Phone lines are still there for you. 877-310-9966. We'll sneak them in around the edges. 877-310-9966 brought to you by Patriot Mobile.